Hello, this is Glenn Vergy from VergySpeed.com. Today we're going to talk about how you can investigate to hire a personal trainer or a strength coach for your son or daughter. Now, in the short video we have today, I'm not going to be able to go through all of the points relevant that you might find helpful. But what I am going to talk about is the few key points that you can take home and use at your disposal. First thing that's relevant for this discussion is I want to just preface that when I'm talking about personal trainer and strength coach, we're talking about an individual that is here to train the athletic population. So again, whether it's a strength and conditioning coach or whether it's a personal trainer, for our discussion, they are the same today. First thing I want to talk about is the experience necessary to train athletes. I firmly believe that it's important for whoever you hire to train your child is that they have experience as an athlete themselves. It is critical to understand that from a perspective of the young athlete, what they're going through. For example, when I was a teenager, I was a high-level track athlete. In fact, I was a nationally ranked track athlete. And for me, I know what it takes to get to that high level in sport. So for me to be able to take your son or daughter to that next level, I have that personal experience. Second thing is that I think is relevant is the education required to train an athlete. Post-secondary education is extremely relevant and necessary, in my opinion, for someone to be training a child or a teenager to get them to that next level in sport. They have to understand the basics of anatomy and physiology and biomechanics, plus have the basic understanding of how to plan weeks, months, how to plan workouts appropriately, not only for volume and rest, but for intensity. It's also important for them to be able to understand youth models, because most of us that train athletes, we don't train pro athletes. They are far and few between, but the majority of us that do train athletes, they are youth athletes ages 6 to 18. And if someone does not understand relevant youth models and how to train someone versus, say, an 8-year-old female soccer player who's 65 pounds versus an 18-year-old 280-pound football lineman, and they have them on the exact same training program, that's a recipe for disaster, most likely for that 8-year-old girl. And plus, whoever you hire has to have the understanding between not only the ages of athletes, but the gender, because girls need different strength training than boys as they grow through their teenage years, especially when we're talking about the knee and preventing ACL injuries. Now, rest is a huge thing that often is overlooked. We can push athletes to their limit every single day, but having the education and the background to understand that it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to have planned strategic rest. It's okay to have testing weeks and less volume training. We cannot be crushing the athletes every day. And typically from my experience, from what I found, is that people that don't have the education or the background, they can crush athletes at will without the end goal in mind. So I hope you found these tips useful and helpful. If you did, visit VergySpeed.com and we can give you more relevant info on this issue, on this topic. My name's Glenn Vergy. My goal is to make you faster so you can blow by your competition.